Do you ever feel annoyed that you're giving your time away for free? You're going to love today's podcast. I'm talking to Catherine Gladwyn. She's a best-selling author of How to Be a VA, and she's telling us about how you can build a power hour for your business. I think this is something that every bookkeeper can do. So watch and see how you can earn extra money in your business today. Welcome to the Bookkeepers podcast. I'm Zoe Whitman, and today I'm joined by Catherine Gladwyn. Hi, Catherine. How are you?
Hello, I am really well. Thank you, Zoe. Thanks for having me on. Goes without saying,
Oh, no.
I am chuffed to be on the Six Figure Bookkeepers podcast.
Oh, it's our pleasure to have a chat. It's a shame Joe isn't here today. We really wanted to get this one in as an extra episode because you've got a really interesting offer about a training about setting up a power hour. So we thought we'd have a chat about it today. I think it's going to be really valuable for the bookkeepers in our community. Before I dive into that, though, let me just tell you a little bit about what we do. So anyone, at the moment, we're streaming this live into our Facebook group, the Six Figure Bookkeepers Club. So if you're here, I'd love to see that you're here. Ask us any questions as we go along if you'd like to. If you're listening on the podcast, come and join us in the Facebook group if you haven't done that already. And just to say that at the moment we are taking applications for our mastermind. We're running a bookkeepers mastermind for a very small group of people who want to take their business to the next level so that they can achieve consistent 5k months. And that is open to people who are on or who have completed the Bookkeepers 6-month success program. So if you head over to our website, sixfigurebookkeeper.com/mastermind, you can find the application form there. We're reviewing them at the moment. We've got a couple of people who are definitely joining us. We want to make sure that this is a small group of people who are at about the same level, which is why we're doing it on an application only basis. But we'd love to hear from you if you think you'd like to join us. So let's get started. Oh my goodness, Catherine, do you want to tell? It's so nice to talk to you. We've been in touch for a long time, but not really had a lot of opportunity to really have a good chat.
No, I think we've been connected in some way for about 3 years, but we've only ever spoken online. You know, we're both authors. We've both been in similar memberships over the years, and we live within 40 minutes of each other. So it's really weird that after all of that, we're now sort of almost coming face to face, but not quite. So it's lovely.
Oh, one day soon we'll do it in real life soon.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us a bit about your background and what you do?
Sure. So in 2015, I burst onto the small business scene as a virtual assistant, and I started offering admin support, and I also offered bookkeeping because I did my AAT2 qualification. So I was offering that as well. And then I wrote a book in 2018. I think you did yours in 2019, didn't you? Or was it 2018 as well?
2020 I did mine.
Was it?
I've lost when my little boy was a baby, I was writing that. 2019 he was born, so I think it wasn't published till 2020.
Oh,
yeah. But so I remember yours coming out. Yeah. I remember yours. I was like, oh my goodness, there was like books about this stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah. So I wrote my book, How to Be a Virtual Assistant, and that I wanted to just perhaps help people to just create a working life that they wanted, you know. And I thought, if I help 10 people, my goal is achieved. But the book went on to be a #1 bestseller. It's ranked above Elon Musk, Simon Sinek, Seth Godin, however you say his name. It's been listed in The Independent as one of top 10 business books written by women, and it's won multiple awards. I know, it just went mental. So from there, I started mentoring predominantly VAs as well. And I still VA alongside doing that. And people say, oh, you shouldn't, because, you need to have a complete niche. But to me, it's important for me to still do a little bit of VAing so that I stay in the world and I understand the marketing around it, and I can properly mentor VAs then. So, and what we're going to talk about today is another stream of income for small business owners.
Tell me about adding bookkeeping services to your VA business. So did you set up predominantly to do the administrative services, but then you were like, I've got my AAT, so I can add this? Or did you do it so that you could add bookkeeping?
I did my AAT so that I could add bookkeeping. So I was never going to go away from being a VA and just be a bookkeeper, not just be a bookkeeper, but just focus solely on bookkeeping. I always wanted to do the two so that I had two different streams coming in, so that if I don't know, if I lost a load of bookkeeping clients, then I still had that admin bit as well. It was just trying to reach a few more people. And I did find that a lot of business owners don't just want the admin, they want some bookkeeping as well, and vice versa. So I've taken on bookkeeping. Yeah, really interesting. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
No, that's okay. Sorry to interrupt. Yeah, I was just thinking, you know, I was going to say to you, you know, how easy is it for a VA to add bookkeeping services? And I suppose, like you say, there are going to be people who want a bit of support with invoicing or perhaps credit control, those kind of day-to-day things. But actually looking at it from the other point of view, if you're a bookkeeper listening to this and you're thinking, well, actually, perhaps I could support the business with some admin, do you think that there's a good fit there for bookkeepers, or what do you think?
100%, absolutely 100%. And I'll give you an example. One of my bookkeeping clients is a he's got lots of properties. I can't think of the word. He's a landlord, so he's got lots of properties. So I do his bookkeeping for those properties, for the rent coming in and everything like that. But in addition, I also manage and maintain his electrical safety certificates and his gas safety certificates, because the agents often need chasing for those. You know, with this gas safety certificate is due on this property, could you get this done? You know, it's a legal requirement and really needs doing. And that's admin. So a lot of your bookkeepers might already, like, they'll be listening to this and thinking, do you know what, I do something similar for somebody else. So I'm already doing admin, or I know that my bookkeeping client struggles with doing this aspect of their business. I could definitely help with that. Because bookkeepers are, like, they say PAs are organised, but bookkeepers, you know, you've not just got to be organised, you've got to be so on the ball as well. So admin would just be a doddle for them. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, we've got, I think you're right. Like, people have that kind of mindset, those organisation skills. And actually, I'm just thinking, particularly for bookkeepers who are starting out and have a couple of clients, they're like, where do I find my new clients? If this is something, I mean, not suggesting this is right for everybody, but if this does feel right for you, then actually it's easier to sell to existing clients than it is to find new clients. So if this is something you're thinking of offering, it's something you can go out and approach your existing clients with. So I hadn't thought
absolutely,
of it like that.
because you've already established that know, like, and trust. So you've not got to do that nurturing with them. They already know how you work and how you communicate, and if it works for them, they're not going to hesitate to want to give you some extra work. So definitely.
Oh, interesting. Okay, let's have a chat about power hours then. So tell me what a power hour is.
Okay, so a power hour, it's an hour, and it's usually via Zoom or Skype or whatever your preferred method is. It can even be by telephone, the old-fashioned way. And it's where you share your knowledge and expertise with somebody, where you answer some questions. So an example of some power hours that I hold every so often is helping people set up free agent. I help people navigate their current spreadsheet of figures and put them onto Xero or free agent or something like that. I do MailChimp, the email marketing software. I do MailChimp power hours, where I help people go through their previous newsletters and I critique them and say, well, like, you need to change this, that, and the other, and then you'll get more opens. Or again, we go in and I show them how to use a system. So I show them how to use MailChimp. And it, instead of, when you get, I mean, I'm sure loads of people that are going to listen to this are going to nod and think, yeah, this is true. But you get people fall into your inbox and they're like, oh, can we have a quick 5-minute chat? Or could you just tell me, how do I find how to run a profit and loss report from Xero? Or is QuickBooks or Xero better for me? Or, all of these questions, and you answer them. And then sometimes these people don't even say thank you. They don't even thank you for their time. They don't thank you for your expertise. You've spent, God knows how long getting to the point where you can say to somebody, I think you're going to prefer QuickBooks because your business is this, that, and the other. You've taken time to get that knowledge, to get to that expertise. And it winds me up, and I'll probably start getting louder and more vocal in a minute, but it winds me up that people want to take our time for free because, well, you're giving your time to somebody for free. You can't earn any more money. And yes, sometimes those people do convert into paying clients, but it's so very frustrating when they don't. So if I get an inquiry like that, I say to them, yeah, I can help with that, but I'll need a little bit more information. You can book a power hour here. so that we don't go
Yeah.
backwards and forwards and things like that. I had somebody contact me the other day saying, I'm interested in setting up as a VA. She contacted me on LinkedIn. I'm currently employed, so I need to know a little bit more about how to market myself. And I replied and went, brilliant, how exciting. I wish you every success. If you book a power hour here, I can help with that. Nothing. That was 6 days ago. Nothing. Didn't even reply and say thank you, or it's not for me. Just completely ignored me. And I thought, you cheeky bugger, you just wanted my time for free. And I thought, this is why I do it. Because and people value it more, don't they? You know that. I mean, that's why I'm assuming you're charging for this application only mastermind, because you can't do it for free, because it's so many years of knowledge that you're giving people, and people are so much more likely to implement as well when you charge them, and they see your worth too. They always see your worth. And when you attract people that pay for your time, they're more likely to become buyers later on, as opposed to the freeloaders that are just sucking up everything they can for free and not actually doing anything with it.
You're right. It's getting in. That's okay. It's absolutely right. It's getting people to see the value of your time, but also for them to realize that this is worth them taking action on. Like, if that lady contacts you and she just wants you to give her some marketing tips, you send her a voice note or a document or something, she might actually never look at it because there's been no exchange of cash or anything for that. So she might go, oh yeah, I'll get to that at some point. Whereas if she's paid you for an hour of your time, sat down, gone through it with you, even if she'd paid you for a PDF or something, she's much more likely to look at it and take action because there's a monetary value attached to it. So you're right, it's a psychology thing as well, isn't it, for your customer?
Yeah, and she probably found me because of my marketing. And like I said, I started my business in 2015, so I think that's 6 years. Not very good at maths sometimes, just off the cuff.
You're good.
Like that.
2015, yeah.
yeah. So that's 6 years of learning a lot of marketing and getting myself to where I am. So it would take a long voice note or a long reply for me to say, right, you've got to do this, that, and the other. So I'm definitely going to charge for that time.
I think it fills an important gap that a lot of us have. I mean, I got someone message me I was in a Clubhouse room, someone messaged me on Instagram and said, I need to know how to claim mileage. We have a personal car. I use it to drive to the post office to post the thing I sell. How do I claim mileage? And I mean, I haven't got a way to charge for that at the moment. And I said, well, it's probably 45p. Here's the link you need. And a bookkeeper would be able to say, look, actually, I can help you out with this. We need to know a bit more detail to make sure I'm giving you exactly the right information for you. So here's a link to have a conversation. And then she would take more time to say, right, I've got an hour. What other questions have I got? What can I do? So tell me, so you mentioned that you have lots of different types of power hours. So you've had one for like setting up free agent, one for doing MailChimp. Do you suggest that a power hour has a theme? So you say to your client, I offer power hours around training, software training, or dealing with your spreadsheet, or helping you with your tax return, or whatever. Is that, do you make it really clear that it's not just like a generic power hour, it's a specific
I home in on what the sorts of questions that they can ask me, but I also send them a questionnaire to complete at least 72 hours before the call, so that if they put something on there that is like, there's no way I'm going to be able to answer that. Some people will say, how do I integrate MailChimp with WordPress? And I can help with that. But if they want to know how to integrate it with Wix, I'm like, I have no clue. So if they were to put that on the questionnaire, then I would cancel the power hour. And it also helps as well to prepare and not be scared and worried on the power hour that you think, oh God, I'm not going to be able to answer that question or something like that. But I shouldn't look at comments, because then my mind goes.
It's all right. Anne's just saying that she's missing it because she's on her holiday, but she's read your books. She's going to watch
Anne,
it.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you, Anne. So what was the question again, Zoe?
we were just talking about whether we have whether you give your power hours a specific title. So if someone contacts you, they have a specific question, probably a specific question in the DMs, or they email you, or you speak to them on the phone or something. you're able to then direct them to a specific power hour to serve their need. Do they go to like your website or something to book that, or like a Calendly link or something?
Yeah, absolutely. So with my mentoring, I've got refocus power hours as well, and I list on that page the kinds of things that people can talk to me about. So it's as an example, how to write a best-selling book, how to focus on the right things, how to set your goals, how to build a team, and things like that, and kind of give them some ideas around what it is they can talk to me about. They can see my website, but the main thing is that it's focused on what my business is about. So I spoke to a lady recently who runs a fantastic business, and she's got this great idea for power hours, but the power hours don't align to her business. So she's going to be attracting the wrong audience. She's not going to sell the power hours because she's attracting a different audience. So with the bookkeepers, it would be important to ensure that your power hour sales page focuses on the things that you can talk about, and it's obviously going to be around bookkeeping. So there could be things like people want to know how to transfer their spreadsheet of accounts over to some software, the best software for them, or how indeed to use the software, or how to find things on there and things like that. So
and things like if you've got questions about your, like, one I always got was expenses you can claim in your tax return, like the tax return Q&A or something.
Perfect.
Just being able to spend that time. I like the idea of having the really focused topics. I used to when I was running my bookkeeping practice, I used to offer these sessions, and I'd use them often for training for people who come along and say, I don't know how to you get the best out of the software that I'm using. And it would just mean we could sit down, and I kind of made it like, no question is a silly question, but I didn't specifically say these are the things I can help you with. And I think that would, I suppose, thinking back, I did go into those sessions thinking, oh my word, what are they going to want? Like, I don't know what's coming through the door right now. And they would come down to the office and we'd sit down like in real life together, and I'm like, I hope I'm going to know the answers. And I knew the answers, but it gives you that anxiety, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's nothing worse, is there? And a lot of people that have done my power hour course one of the questions is, what if I don't know the answer to something? And that's what holds people back from promoting it. And I always say, I've had it where I've like thought, I cannot think of what that is now, and I don't want to give the wrong answer. So what I always say is, that's a really good question, and I can't think properly right now of what that answer is. I'm going to come straight back to you when we finish the power hour, and I'll send you an email. Something like that. And people appreciate that much more than you saying anything that could be incorrect, because it's so important that you give the right answer. And I've said it a couple of times, and I've never had anybody go, oh, she don't know what she's on about.
No, of course they wouldn't. Of course they wouldn't.
No, and that's why it's also really useful to send that questionnaire in advance as well, because you kind of know what's coming up. I'm ever so naughty. I get people to fill in the questionnaire 72 hours before, but I read it like half an hour before or 15 minutes before, and but yeah, it's great because you can prepare, and it's really helpful.
How do you take people? So someone contacts you, let's say like someone might call us as bookkeepers, someone might call us on the phone or send us an email or fill in our contact form on our website or contact us through our DMs on Facebook or Instagram or something saying, can you help with this? How much mileage can I claim? Blah, blah, blah. How do you take it from, because it's really easy to go, oh, that'll only take me a few minutes to answer, and to just give them the answer. How do you, rather than that, what wording do you use? How do you turn it into an opportunity for them to book something?
So I'm always really, thankful for them to get in touch, because they've taken the time to get in touch. So it's always a sincere, thanks ever so much for finding me. I can help with that, absolutely. Book yourself a power hour here, and we can discuss that and any other questions you've got. Some people ask a very simple question sometimes, and when you've gone back to them, they've already Googled it. You do sometimes think to yourself, have you heard of Google? Or have you?
Some of the things that people ask bookkeepers are things they're afraid to Google, in case they almost want you there with them because you're going to make them feel okay about it. People have a lot of fear around money and numbers stuff, and that can stop them looking things up, because they're like, what am I going to find out? And they kind of want someone sat there with them who can go, well, that's okay, because you're going to do this and this, and just make them feel like, oh, this is all right. So I think that's why people don't Google things, and they'd rather ask you.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
I don't know about your audience, but I find that business owners really hold bookkeepers in high regard, and so they should. You know, you offer an amazing service. You know, you take so much stress away from people, and they do really trust you. And some of the questions that come out are like, yeah, you could find that on the government website, but I'll go and find it for you if you like. You know,
Yeah.
And I've actually had one of my bookkeeping clients find things on the government website and then check them with me. And then I've gone back and gone, well, I'm only going to check the government website for this. So it's like,
I'm not the government.
No, and people really do trust bookkeepers. So don't be afraid to convert those inquiries into people paying. And it doesn't need to be a power hour. It can be a power half hour, if you like, you know, and you can charge half the price.
Love it. Okay, let's talk about charging then.
Oh, you're going to like this, or they're going to like this.
Okay, go on then. Help us out with
Right.
Where do we start?
Well, first question: do you invite your bookkeepers to work out what their hourly rate is, so that they know kind of that their time is money?
Well, different bookkeepers are charging in different ways. A lot of bookkeepers now are using software to help them. In our 6-month success program, I know that a lot of our bookkeepers are working with Go Proposal and are using pricing based on the actual activity that they're doing for their clients every month. So probably hasn't broken down to an hourly rate, but I know that I certainly started out charging an hourly rate, and I think it would be tempting to go, oh, that'll be £30, but I know you're going to tell me that's not the answer, so I'd love to know where you're going to go with this.
And I am absolutely not saying that the bookkeepers need to charge an hourly rate, because I think what you're saying they're doing is perfect, completely perfect, obviously. But if you know what your hourly rate is, so perhaps you could kind of work it out. You could maybe add up all of your income for a month, and then how many hours you're working for a month, and then divide it to find out what your hourly rate is. And then when you've determined what you're earning an hour, you double that at least, and that is your power hour price. So you might think, hang on a minute, so I don't know, I'm just going to throw something out. My hourly rate works out to be £60 an hour, say. So how can I charge 120 for a power hour? Well, you've got to think about all of those years of knowledge that you've had, all of that expertise. You're helping somebody. You're just alleviating so much stress for somebody by giving them those answers and the time that they need just to clarify and not be so overwhelmed. You are paying, no doubt, for the software for them to book it, whether that's Acuity or Calendly. You'll integrate a payment system, so that could be Stripe or PayPal, so that people pay straight away. So you're paying for that monthly. And you're also going to be setting up this questionnaire and reviewing it in advance as well, because that makes it easier.
It's more than the hour, isn't it?
It's more than the hour. Because and this is why when somebody comes to me and says, "Have you got time for a quick 5-minute chat?" No, because I'm going to need a wee before this chat. You know, I've had 3 wees before this recording. And you can bet your bottom dollar, after we've had this 5-minute chat, which probably lasted 15, 20 minutes, I'm then going to think, right, so what was I doing beforehand? I'm just going to need another cup of tea. Sod it, I'll have my lunch now. My head's all over the place. I'm thinking about the call. It's never a 5-minute chat. So that is, again, another reason why it's important to charge for your time.
I think we forget this now. We've done a lot of training to become bookkeepers, and so to us, if someone comes to us and asks a question, what's the mileage that what's the allowance I can claim for my trip to the post office? We think, oh, well, it's that answer, easy. It's easy for us because we know, and we've done it for hundreds of clients, and we've spent years training and getting our exams and sitting there learning and revising and looking these things up because we've had questions about them before and having experience in a job. Your client hasn't done that, so they're benefiting from you having gone through all of this, and we have to remember that. And if we need to, if our client is an expert in another area, I know, a builder or something, and I need a cat flap fitting right now, and it's got to go through a wall. We haven't got a door that it will go through. I don't want to do that. And I don't expect to pay someone £30 for an hour of their time. I think they're going to charge me quite a lot more than that. So, and I think we have to think that we are hiring an expert to come in and do something for us. And we're paying them for the experience of knowing which kind of, I don't know, my husband's calling it some kind of coring drill or something. He's like, oh, don't worry, I'll just go and hire one from a hire. I'm like, no. This is not your thing. We will pay someone and they will do it properly because they know what they're doing. So I think we have to remember that we're paying for their expertise and their training and the times they've done it over and over and over again. And it's exactly the same with us, but we forget.
Yeah,
always compare things to a cat flap.
Yeah. Oh God. But it would be fun if you did it. You'd go viral on Instagram because 1 minute it would be a little cat flap, and then how big is this cat? As he's just going further and further and further. Bloody cat! You get a tiger through there.
Well, watch this space.
Yeah. Suddenly there's bifold doors in there for the cat.
I love it. Oh, fab. Okay, right. So how to charge for it? So you think work back what your hourly rate is and then double it.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I've definitely worked with I think I've charged before £80 or £90 for a power hour. I know other people that charge £99 for a power hour. I think put something out there that feels a little bit uncomfortable for you. And then if people say, yes, you're getting it right. And, do a few and then see how they go. This isn't going to be the thing that changes your business turnover, but it's a way, isn't it, for you to
extra money so that you don't lose money. Yeah. Who doesn't want extra money, unless you're trying to stay away from the VAT threshold, but who doesn't want a little bit of extra money for what is actually very little of your brain, your brain power, because you've got all of this knowledge already. You know it all. It's just so easy for you. And when you stop and reflect and think, do you know what? Yeah, I am probably giving away so much of my time to people that I can charge for this, and so you should. You're worth it. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And Catherine, so you've put together a training on power hours. Do you want to tell us about what that involves and how people can find out about it?
Yeah, so it's a 5-step course, so it's ever so easy. You can go through it and implement it in an afternoon if you want. If you've got an afternoon free, I try and make it really easy so that, and I mean, because we've all bought these courses and then we never do them, so I try and make this really easy. So it's a 5-step course, and in it I help you to. I'm looking away, not for arrogance, but to try and get myself to remember it off the top of my head.
Okay.
So to obey to it. But how to define your power hour, how to price it, how to market it, how to sell it, and how to flip inquiries as well. And there's a bonus section as well around mindset, around the selling of it and the pricing of it, because that, like we've spoken about, it's really quite difficult sometimes to get your head around that. The most I've ever paid for a power hour is over £500 with somebody, just as an example. People that have done my course and implemented it, they get their money back and then some just by selling one power hour, because the course is only £29, and nobody is going to charge less than £30 for a power hour.
No.
In fact, I think if you charge less than 75, then people are going to be thinking, the expertise probably isn't going to be as good as that person that's charging 95 or something like that. So I think everybody can go in at 95 at least with their power hours. So the course takes you through that. The average recoup on investment for that, for people, I've worked that out. So people that have bought the course and implemented it is £625 over a few months.
Wow.
As they start, because it's lovely, isn't it? Because it's so nice to be able to give your money to something and know that there's going to be some back. So it takes you through everything you need to know in easy steps. And there's a few tasks in there as well that, just to help you think about it and to get that done, because I think we should all have power hours or power half hours if need be. I think it's a really important thing.
I absolutely agree. I think this is so useful for everybody. And I think, something that we can take away and implement in an afternoon is very attractive.
Yeah.
So that's definitely worth thinking about. And, like you said, if you can charge more than £29, you're going to make your money back if you do one. I think that this is something that you can realistically add to your service offering straight away. It's going to help you to deal with any of those inquiries you get on social media, all the people who are otherwise we would perhaps think of as time wasters. Like, these are the people who we're like, oh, I need to reply to that, because if I don't, they're going to think I'm bad. They won't come back to me if they do need my help in the future. So you want to do it for goodwill reasons, but it feels annoying. So being able to offer something to them that it helps you earn a bit of extra money. If we can all bring an extra £100 a day into our businesses by answering an inquiry we were going to answer anyway, that's got to be a good thing, hasn't it? So
absolutely. I've had somebody this week, I did a power hour with her the week before. She'd initially contacted me on LinkedIn and said, I'm not getting any leads from LinkedIn, blah, 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 blah. What can I do to change things? And I said, I can instantly see there's lots we can do to change things and help you get leads. She's a virtual assistant, so that's why she contacted me. I said, book a power hour here. It took a few months or a few weeks, and she booked one. We had it last week, and I gave her some steps to implement to enable her to get more traction on LinkedIn. I could see she was doing stuff because she was commenting on my stuff on LinkedIn. And she emailed me this morning and said she's had her first lead via LinkedIn because she's implemented everything that I told her to do. And it's somebody, a solicitor where she lives. She doesn't live in England, and he wants 20 hours a month from her. So that is absolutely brilliant. She's recouped that investment of the power hour, and I'm beaming because she implemented my advice and it's paid off as well for her.
Yeah.
So if I'd have just gone back to her and said, do this, that, and the other, she may not have seen any value in it.
No,
she may not
it's
have
a
thought,
way. It's a way in. It's a way to show people, look, I know what I'm doing, help them sort them. I mean, I've definitely had people, I've worked with them for an hour, done that exactly this kind of thing, a power hour, shown them something, then they've come back to me for a tax return or something else, or told somebody else that. And that's actually, we talk a lot about getting testimonials. These are the kind of things where you can say at the end, hey, what did I help you with? Where were you before we started the hour? Where are you? What's the result been, or the outcome for you? And these are the things that your testimonials, you can share that on your website. That's good marketing. But those people will tell their friends, their other business owners in their networks, and then this is the kind of stuff that can bring you leads as well. So I mean, it's a no-brainer for me. I think
and because when you meet somebody like this, it really, as opposed to like just a pretty picture on a social media platform or the website or something, when you meet somebody like this, which is how you would do your power hour, it brings on that know, like, and trust. So they already feel that they know you and they trust your expertise. And it, like you say, Zoe, it leads to more things. It does. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Now, how can people find the course? How can they sign up if they want to do that?
So it's catherinegladwyn.co.uk /power.
We will make sure we've got a link in the comments so everybody can access that. It's £29. Get your power hour set up in an afternoon. That is a brilliant idea for everyone this Friday afternoon. I'm excited to see lots of power hours available.
I can't wait to be bombarded with bookkeeper power hours all over the place. I'm going to feel so proud. It'll be brilliant.
Fantastic. Well, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing this, because I think this is going to really help so many people. I'm just going to draw this to a close, let you know that we'll be back next Wednesday before our normal time. We have a podcast next week with Lisa Talbot. We're going to be talking about personal branding and style and how that fits together. I'm excited about that. And we will see you next week for another podcast. Thanks so much, Catherine.
No, thanks for having me, Zoe. Take care, everybody.
Absolutely.
Bye.